The impact of climate change continues to be felt in many parts of the country. In Zoggu, in the Zoggu district of the northern region, farmers are feeling the brunt of irregular rainfall coupled with lack of ready markets for the little produce they cultivate. My colleague Komla Adum reports the farmers are compelled to consume what they grow without knowing where and how to raise money for the next planting season.
In the Zoggu district of the northern region, 53-year-old Al-Hassani Dantini and his family are sun-drying their harvest: peanuts, pepper and maize. Some of the produce they would have to store with chemicals to sustain them until the next proper farming season.
We face many challenges as farmers. There are no farm trucks to convey our produce, and we do not have tractors. Even when the tractors come, we are unable to afford the cost of plowing our fields.
Here in Zoggu, irregular rainfall patterns is affecting the farming activities of those who live here. This is one of the tomato farms belonging to Al-Hassan Fatau, and he, like many other farmers here, are witnessing low yield, also insects destroying their fruits. As a result, they are unable to make even the amount of money they invest in keeping such a farm.
Comment to see confirm manukoma
Now, farming tomatoes these days has become so high due to the high cost of chemicals we apply. But due to the high cost of the chemicals, we are unable to cultivate on a large quantity.
Weather has been found to cause 20 to 80% of all yield loss for farmers in Africa, compared to losses due to pest and disease pegged at 26 to 30%. The State of Climate in Africa 2019 report published by the World Meteorological Organization predicts the worst-case climate change scenario, which is a reduction in mean yield of 13% in West and Central Africa. The report projects millet and sorghum as the most promising crops, with yield loss by 2050 of just 5 and 8% respectively. Rice and wheat are expected to be most affected, with yield loss by 2050 of 12 and 21%. Even before 2050, local farmers at Zoggu are feeling the pinch. Al-Hassan and other farmers cultivate 1 to 2 acre farm fields, but have to contend with irregular rainfall. Nearly half of their harvest is lost. Abdul Fattah Abdullahi would have to sell his tomato fruits for a pittance.
Getting access to ready market for our crops has become so difficult due to the bad nature of our roads. Our markets women find it difficult to access us to get our crops into the market. I'm a market woman who comes to this community to buy tomatoes from the farmers. A basket of tomatoes from the farmers costs 70 Ghana cedis, and I sell it at 100 cedis when I take it to the market. Sometimes, even before you get to the market, more than half of the tomatoes has gone bad, leading you into losses because the road is very bad and it takes us so many hours before we get to the market.
A dugout several meters away from the community center sank, and the government's One Village, One Dam initiative is unable to support them. Suleimana Yakubu tells me heavy rains washed away some portions of a dugout.
We face serious water problems here as farmers. Before the drought, we had 2 farming seasons which kept us busy. But now, we stay idle after the first season of farming because the water in the dugout dries up.
There's very little the farmers here can do to deal with the weather-related challenges. Even access to fertilizers which could help them increase their yield is a luxury. Al-Hassan Dantini, Abdul Fattah Abubakar and Al-Hassan Abdullahi feel that could make up for the impact of the harsh weather.
We are also unable to afford weedicides and fertilizers. In the end, we witness poor harvest and this is unable to sustain us.
Until then, they will continue to feed from hand to mouth, and their yield will deplete further. But if they need a commodity they do not grow here, they may have to engage in barter trade with the pepper, maize, millet, tomatoes and peanuts they grow, just to feed themselves and their dependents, and hope that the following farming season offers better yield than the previous. Komla Adom, TV3 News, Zoggu, Kumbungu District, Northern Region.